right, good evening, Panther Nation, and welcome to the Coach Lee Doty Show, brought to you by Primestar Home Health. Tonight, we're coming to you from Revival Pizza. I want to thank Zach House for hosting us tonight. I'm William Handy. I'm filling in for Ben Hackler tonight. I have Coach Lee Doty here with me tonight. Appreciate you being here with us, Coach.
Man, I appreciate you having me. What a crowd, huh?
That was a great crowd. I love this.
No doubt.
Kind of.
I tell you what, let's get a sound check here. Let's everybody give yourself a hand for showing up tonight. Let's see what that sounds like. It's pretty good. Pretty good.
Oh, I love it. Well, Coach, how was your nice long weekend after that short road trip down to meet?
Well, Thursday night games are great, and I tell everybody they're great only if you win, because you go to school on Friday and you don't want to drag in at 7:30 and be on duty and have to look everybody in the face for losing football game. So it's always great to win, and we had a great long weekend. Got a little bit of rest and watched a few games, Friday night, and kids came in, and we're getting ready for Wiseman, man. The turnaround on things are pretty quick, especially when you come back and play Thursday night and you come back and play again this week on Thursday. So not much time to do anything but get ready to work, and but that's what we do. So excited about the opportunities we have, excited about the opportunities we've earned. So had a great weekend, man. Great one.
That's great. I'll tell you what, Coach, we had to move to Monday night tonight. Again, nice of Zach House to help us out here. And, we're trying to accommodate Halloween there. And kind of leads me to something I wanted to ask you about. I've seen some things about the Doty family over the years with being very good to participate in Halloween. I've seen a picture of y'all dressed up like the Scooby Gang, and I think you were Fred. Looked really good, and I think Miss Sochi was Scooby-Doo. My personal favorite, though, was Mickey and Minnie Mouse.
Right, I get a lot of compliments about that one.
Yeah, I would think so. I've never seen a guy pull those Mickey Mouse ears off like you did, Coach. And
well, I got some talents that a lot of folks don't have, I guess.
Well, I'll tell you this. On my profile picture and my contacts, that's the one I got for you. So I just made a great impression.
Well, Halloween is probably my favorite holiday, and we're glad we're getting to do this tonight. And we'll have plenty of candy to go around tomorrow if you want to come over, but you got to wear a costume.
I'll dress up like Kurt Adams. But I do want to ask you, what are y'all going to be this year, Coach?
We're G.I. Joe and G.I. Jane, so we're excited about doing that.
I told her y'all ought to be the rock band Kiss one year. I think you could pull Gene Simmons off those 6-inch boots. I don't know. I just think you could do that, Coach. I want to throw that out there.
We'll think about that one next year.
Yeah, that'd be good. Well, Coach, tonight we're going to do the McDonald's Senior Spotlight with Miss Jennifer Thomas, and I'd like to turn that over to you.
Yeah, we got one more senior left, Cody Copeland. Cody, come on up front here. Cody is a senior this year, and slide on over here where they can see you, bud. And worked really hard. He's had a great year. He's earned every bit of it, and we're proud of him. And he'll be a captain for us this week. And Cody's had a heck of a season, and we hope he'll finish the season strong as he started it. Okay, so our senior spotlight and our captain this week is Cody Copeland. Thank you, Cody.
Well, congratulations to Cody. That's well earned, and he has done a great job this year. Coach, I want to do something a little bit different. We're going to recognize some of our support staff or support groups that have participated all year, and we'd like to go ahead and have them come up. And so we're going to ask you to allow them to take your place so we can visit with them for a short while. And we're going to start with Miss Nikki Taylor, the cheer sponsor. And I know I saw her in this. There she is. Well, Nikki, welcome to the Coach Lee Doty Show.
Thank you.
And you are the cheer sponsor for Sterlington Panthers, and why don't you go ahead and introduce your seniors?
So one of them is not with us tonight, and of course that's Lily K. Timms, and she's home. Her mom is a little under the weather today, but she hates she had to miss. But my two that are with me today is Colleen Wheeler and Scarlett Rabb.
I'd like to give them a hand.
Both of these girls have been with us for all 4 years, so we're super proud of them.
Well, I did want to ask you a few questions while you're up here. We always ask Coach Doty a lot about his typical week and with the football team, but what's a typical week like for you and the cheerleaders getting ready for a game? Because I know it's not just going out there and cheering, but what all goes into a typical week?
So it really depends on whether or not we have a pep rally or not. So if we have a pep rally, they have a lot of work ahead of them, trying to get ready for Friday mornings. And then, of course, that's a really long day for them because they're going to be there. If it was for like last week, they'd be there at 5:45, and then they're there to the game is over. So it's a big day for them. But they do put in a whole lot of work, from tumbling to stunting to being loud and all the things that they have to do on top of keeping their studies up and all that kind of stuff. So I'm super proud of these girls, and I love the dedication they have to their Panthers, and they definitely enjoy cheering them on Friday nights. This week is a little bit easier with not having a pep rally, so they're trying to get the halls decorated this week, painting a lot, trying to make sure that when you walk through the halls, you feel Panther Nation through and through. So super proud of these girls.
That's awesome. Now, something else too, and I'll ask some of the other support groups, is fundraising. So how does fundraising work, and how can all these folks out here open up that wallet and help you guys out?
They already do. So I just want to say first, thank you to our community, because it is fantastic. From concession stands on Friday nights, between dance and band and cheer, we get to split that. So we're grateful for those of you who come in and get your drinks and all the things. And then our biggest fundraiser, of course, is our football program that we do. And of course, we have sponsors that buy full page ads, buy whatever it works for them that's feasible for their budget. And then our community also buys ads that spotlight their Panther, whether it's a cheerleader or dance team, football player, band, flag corps. We just are grateful for everyone that pitches in, because that definitely is what carries us through the season. So thank you to all of our community for showing so much love with that. So.
Yeah, and I'd agree. That great community support.
Absolutely.
In everything we do.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Nikki, I appreciate you coming up and with your seniors.
Yes.
And
small group, but they're powerful.
Hey, yeah, they are. They are.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody.
Thank y'all.
So next, we would like to go to band director Danny Mejia. How you doing there, Mr. Mejia?
Appreciate you having me.
Oh, man, great to have you here. Why don't you introduce your seniors?
Well, the three seniors I have, we have Faye Scarborough. She's been with me for 4 years. Caven Speck, been with me for 4 years. And then David Akers moved in for us from, where was it again? Virginia. He came in this year, and I'm very proud of these three. I got two other seniors that couldn't be here tonight. Grant Bove, he's at home getting ready for Halloween tomorrow. And then Evelyn Camarena, my color guard senior, she is actually at practice. We have a competition coming up this Saturday, and so they had practice tonight, getting ready, putting the finishing touches on the show and stuff.
Well, tell me more about that competition, Danny. I was going to ask you about that. You mentioned it.
About 7 years ago, we started hosting marching invitational at Sterlington. We started off with 6 schools. It's just basically the local schools. It's a little fundraiser for us, and then we ended up exploding into a huge competition. The schools from Shreveport, Arkansas, coming down. This year we have a great lineup. I believe we start off with Caldwell at 11:30 on Saturday, followed by Gina, Neville, Washita, West Washita, Airline, Parkway, and Benton, and then us. And then we have a special performance by Louisiana Tech. We try to bring a college in to give them a chance to recruit. We have been, at Sterlington itself, we've been very successful putting kids in college with a college scholarship in a bunch of D1 schools. So we're very proud of that. I think over my years here this is my 17th year, I've had over 50, 60 kids get a scholarship in band programs, and that's pretty good for them. At one time, we had 35 kids in the ULM band about 4 years ago.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Absolutely incredible.
So if y'all want to come out, y'all come out Saturday. Gates open at 11 o'clock, Panther Stadium. It's a big fundraiser for us. You want to see some good marching bands, we'll perform. Louisiana Tech will perform, and it's a good time. And I never forget Jason Thompson a couple years ago when he came out to shut us down, pick up money. He was like, this is unbelievable. He said the stadium was packed. It was like standing room only on both sides, cars down the line, all the way to Johnny's, parked up and down the street, parked down Keystone. He was like, I never knew. And he sat and watched, and he was amazed on how it went. So,
well, it has grown into something way
Yes.
beyond what you had initially expected.
Absolutely.
And I was going to ask you too, and kind of going to the game aspect. Y'all are always there, doing a great job. How do y'all get ready for those games? You lay all those songs out, or what?
Yeah, well, we have a folder that we have with some music in it, but it takes a lot of planning. We just don't start at the beginning of the school year. This starts way back, probably in about May. Once we finish football season, we go into a concert season, get ready to go to our assessment there, and then we start thinking about the next season. And we work through the summer. They go to band camps. Color Guard works once a week during the summer, 5:30 to 7:30 in the evening times. Band comes in July. We start putting things together. Not only are we getting ready for Friday night football, but we're getting ready for competition season. When we get to October, they called it Bandtober because it's band competition season. There's a competition every weekend, and it's a miserable time for a band director at that time because we're working 6-7 days a week. Multiple. Getting there early. We practice. It was supposed to start the year COVID, but we moved our practices from afternoon. We used to practice 3:30 to 5, but of course, being in Louisiana, the heat is ridiculous. So I had took some advice from my West Monroe band directors, colleagues. They started practicing in the morning at 6:30, so we moved our band class the first period, and we start getting there at 7 o'clock. So we practice 2 to 3 days a week from 7 o'clock in the morning, and we'll practice till about 8:30 and go inside and get freshened up before classes. So it's a lot of work. These kids are very dedicated. Like I said, I'm going into my 17th year, and it's a culture. And it's no longer, this is what I expect. They expect to be good. They expect to do the best that they can, and I expect it. They know that the responsibility is on them because I give them the tools and the necessary materials for them to succeed, and it's their choice whether or not they want to succeed. It's their responsibility. I tell them all the time that it's their program. I'm just there to make sure everything's going well, and I'm the head person, but they run it. It's their responsibility.
Well, outside of the competition you have Saturday, do you have some other fundraisers y'all do as
Yeah,
well?
we only do really 3 fundraisers. We have, of course, our marching competition, and we split the concession with cheer and dance, and we also clean the stadium. A lot of people don't realize that we, the band, clean the stadium after every home football game. So we know who doesn't throw away their trash. And Kurt, I'm looking right at you. We clean up the stadium and we clean up around the tents and we empty the trash cans. And so, next time you think about it at a football game, put that trash in the trash can. Helps us out. So, yeah, we get paid for every game. And then we put that money, a lot of other bands use that money to buy equipment and stuff. Well, I don't. I tend to put it back into the kids. I like to take them on a band trip at the end of the year. Last year, we were very fortunate. Every 4 years, we go to Disney. We went to Disney last year, and the money that we raised paid for the bus. And this year, I think we got Branson on tap for at the end of the year.
Oh, that'll be fun.
Yeah.
Well, you told me in the past that you've had kids that are involved in a number of extracurricular activities, and they still want to participate in bands. So one thing you told me, you said if there are kids that may have an interest in music and participating in band that don't feel they have the ability to make it work, you're pretty good about trying to work with them around those schedules, aren't you?
I'm very blessed at Sterlington. The coaches and I have a great relationship. We share kids all the time. I've shared kids in every sport, any organization. I'm probably one of the most accommodating people there is. My other colleagues from other high schools are like, no, they're going to be there every day. I said, nah, they don't. If you want to have these kids and you want to give them the best of the best and let them do as many things you can, you will accommodate. I mean, My first few years here, it was hard to accommodate football and band, but we figured that out. And I've had several kids, on the football team and been in band. And even this year, my schedule, I have to accommodate. This year, I got the opportunity. No, it's not the opportunity. I got forced to go to the middle school to be the band director of at the middle school this year. So I'm doing high school in the morning and middle school in the afternoon. And I'm the only band director in Ouachita Parish that has to do both. So, yeah, how unfortunate for me, huh?
Oh, no, man. When you're good, you're good. I gotta have you
I guess
all
you
over
can
the
say
place.
that. But it's a great opportunity, and I try to tell kids that, when you're in a smaller school in a community like this, do as much as you can, which is feasible for your parents.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, Danny, we appreciate the time. Is there anything else you wanted to add?
No, just come out Saturday, support us if you can. 11:30. If you don't want to come to the whole thing, we perform at 1:45 right before Louisiana Tech. Love to have a big crowd so we can come out there and cheer those Panthers on Saturday at our fundraiser.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for being here, Danny.
All right, appreciate it. Thanks.
Next, we will ask Miss Wendy Holland if she'll come up. Wendy is our dance line sponsor. What's that?
You just got one mic.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, great.
Well, you shared it. Okay. Oh, man. Well, Wendy, would you introduce your seniors for us?
Sure. I have two this year. Danielle's actually an early graduate, so we're going ahead and putting her in with our seniors. But Danielle Watzik is our early graduate. And then, like I said, we're only going to have her 3 years. We're not going to have her fourth year. So she'll be a 3-year senior, but because of that. And then I have Presley Evans. She is 4 years. She's been with us 4 years. So just those two this year.
Okay. All right. And this is?
This is JC Hobbs. I feel like she's one of my seniors because she was one of my dancers and graduated for me. And every year I just think about our team seems to progress, and I feel like they get better and better. And every year I have compliments from the community and different people at the school saying they see a difference. And I was thinking about it on the way up here today. The reason there's a difference is because I've always had great coaches. And this year I feel very fortunate to be able to hire one of our own. And it shows, like, she's very dedicated to our team and practices. So I was going to let defer some of the questions about our week and scheduling to her and let her answer all that.
Oh, yeah. Well, let's just jump right on in there. So what is a typical week for you guys?
Like Miss Nikki was saying, it kind of depends on whether or not we have a pep rally or not. During pep rally season, of course, they have to do some hip hop dances, and it does lighten the load when we can't remember dances from camp. But of course, I give the seniors the opportunity to choreograph some of the things too, so they can be prepared for those types of experiences. And I also choreograph some of the things for them. And then as far as preparing for the actual game, during those practices, they do review and go over and maybe learn a couple of the band dances that, of course, go along with Mr. Mejia and his band. And then they have their field performances, which unfortunately they haven't been able to perform a lot this season, but they've been prepared and they've been practicing as hard as they can to be ready for whenever those opportunities arise. I did watch them this past Thursday at ME. I'm very proud of their performance, even though we did not have a full team, but they're very hard workers, and I'm extremely proud of how much they've accomplished this season.
So how much different is it being on this side as opposed to out there?
I miss it. I miss being able to be on the field with them, but it's definitely been a beneficial experience for me to be able to be their coach now. It has been difficult to adjust, not only from just being their friend, but to being in a coaching position, but definitely going to continue to learn during this process. And yeah, I'm just going to continue to learn from the process.
Nothing like hands-on experience. Well, I was going to ask you, Wendy, a few other questions. And something that I did want to ask is somebody that's interested in participating in Dance Line. I think I'd asked you this before. I mean, I think I'd even ask you if they needed dance or gymnastics experience. And I don't know if that's necessary or not, but maybe you could kind of fill us in on that.
Well, definitely some kind of dance experience, either studio dance. A lot of our girls are studio, and that's why she said we had a small team Thursday, as a lot of them had competition. So we were missing a few Thursday night when we traveled. So obviously coming from studio, those are really strong dancers because they've been dancing their whole lives. But if not that, at least coming from the junior high, having that junior high experience definitely helps.
And y'all have participated in competitions, I guess, during the year also.
We haven't done a competition during the year in several years. Our big competition is our camp in the summer. We do hope to start adding some competitions, in the near future, but we have not at this time.
Well, and I'm going to ask you, like I ask everybody else too. I know fundraising is something y'all have to do. And what's y'all's main fundraiser, and how are some other things?
Well, I know you heard Nikki and Danny both talk about our concession stand on Friday night. That is a fundraiser that we split. We've been doing that for a number of years, and that's not our biggest fundraiser, but it does generate a lot of funds too. So we do appreciate the community coming out. I know they probably noticed this year our prices went up a little bit, but we just had to because, just like your grocery bills are going up, so do ours. So we appreciate the community supporting us there. That's been pretty big this year. We also do our Future Prince and Panthers. We did that a few weeks ago at home, and this year we had over 100 little girls out there dancing with us, and that's a big fundraiser for us too.
Yeah, that was great to see those little girls out there, and I mean that's your lifeblood.
It was fun. It was it's always a chore for me. Like I get nervous not about the dance because I don't have anything to do with that. I'm their paper pusher, but getting those 102 little girls back to their 102 parents is what's always a little nerve-wracking. But we haven't lost one yet.
Well, I've noticed that when they get to be teenagers, they can't find anything either. So, I mean, I think I'm 54 and I can't find my way around half the time. So, is there anything else you want to?
I did fail to mention when I said she was one of our dancers that JC was one of our dancers. She actually danced with these girls. I wouldn't be able to do that with a lot of girls. Hire them. And they've been on this team before with these particular girls, not just on the team, but they've danced with these. But that's just a testament to her character and what I thought she could do and handle it. And she has been great for our team. She did make the transition from teammate to coach very easily. And she loves them. She cares for them, but she's also tough on them when she needs to be. So I think we look good because she makes us look good.
Oh, that's great to hear that coming from you. From your mentor when you hear that. Well, anyway, Wendy, thank you for having them here this evening. Now, everybody, give the dance line a hand. And last but not least, I'd like athletic trainer Anna Wigley to come up. It's all good. Got to pull that mic up so we can hear you. Anna, you need no introduction, I know, but would you please introduce our senior?
This is Abby Hackler. She's my one and only senior this year. She's been with me for 4 years now, I believe. Yeah, 4 years. So I think you're actually my first freshman I've had that's finished all the way through. So she's
Right. Yeah, you've been here 4 years.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad she showed up since her dad didn't make it.
I mean,
and I had to fill
can't
in.
count on the pastor,
Yeah, he's. You would think in a place like this, if we told him free food, he'd been here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, actually, I want to. These are some things I talked to you about before, but we see those student trainers out there. I mean, they're right in the middle of the action, just like you are. On a Friday night, what do you and your student trainers do as far as getting players ready for the game?
Their prep starts probably about 2:15 with the pregame meal. They get the Gatorade ready for the boys and get it up to the cafeteria to get it set up for the game or for the actual meal. And running refills during the meal for the boys that want them. And then we come down and they get a little break for about an hour usually before we start taping, depending on where we're going or where the game's at that night. And then they Abby tapes, so she helps me tape. She tapes wrist, and that way I can focus on the 500 ankles we tape every Friday. But while she's doing that, the rest of them are filling up 10 gallons, bottles, getting all the equipment ready to go put out on the sidelines, and really all the grunt work that fortunately I don't have to do.
Yeah.
So they do a lot of the hard carrying and all the hard work around the area that while I'm kind of running around like a chicken with my head cut off, trying to keep up.
Well, I want to ask you this. Now, they learn a lot as sports trainers. What can they use that for moving forward? I mean, I know there's some occupations that can be a precursor for, but what do you see? I know physical therapy comes to mind, but what are some things that they could pursue?
They can go into athletic training, right out in undergrad. They can also, depending on what kind of degree program they go into, if it's like kinesiology or athletic training, they can go into PT school, which is physical therapy, or they can also do PA, which is physician assistant school. So there's a lot of opportunities for them to branch out. Once they get into college, if they do kinesiology, there's a lot of different professions that they can go into from there. And I think both of those further education schools are only like 2 extra years. So there's a lot that you can do with this kind of degree. Just depends on where you feel like you would enjoy it best, or where you would work the best.
Well, so if you got somebody that's interested in doing this, what would you say to them? Do they just need to come see you and say, "Hey, I got an interest in this"? Or
yeah, pretty much. That's usually how it happens. They either talk to me or Miss Johnson up at the school, and she'll text me and kind of say, I've got so and so thinks they want to do sports medicine. They have these classes. Are they good? And I'll say, yeah, that's fine. They'll get in the class, and then they may come try it out for a practice or two, and then decide, no, this isn't really what I thought it was going to be. Or they enjoy it and they stick to it, so they stick around for a few years. So they can come out. I mean, freshman year you can start getting your foot in the door. Sometimes depending on how many we've got and how many we can take, kind of depends on if you really get into the action more your sophomore year or where.
good deal. Well, Anna, I appreciate you coming up and
Anytime.
give us a little insight on that. And Abby, congratulations. Everybody give Abby and Anna a hand. So when we come back, we'll have Coach Doty join us, and we'll talk about the meet game and the upcoming game against Wasserman. So we'll be back in just a moment.
Choose Primestar Home Health. We'll provide the best care for your patient or loved one. From managing chronic conditions to wound care and therapy, we specialize in a wide range of services. Primestar Home Health. We have the skill to heal and the spirit to care. Choose Primestar Home Health. We'll provide the best care for your patient or loved one. From managing chronic conditions to wound care and therapy, we specialize in a wide range of services. Primestar Home Health. We have the skill to heal and the spirit to care.
Benoit Ford Chevrolet GMC in Farmerville is here to serve you and your family just like you are a part of ours. With 2 dealerships for you to find the perfect vehicle, Benoit is proud to offer great deals right here in the heart of North Louisiana. 206 South Main Street and 1001 Sterlington Highway in Farmerville, going the extra mile to offer you the best options for your vehicle needs. That's what we do. Stop by and join the Benoit family in your new vehicle from Benoit Ford Chevrolet GMC today.
Welcome back to the Coach Lee Doty Show. Again, brought to us by Primestar Home Health. Well, Coach, why don't you introduce your players of the game, brought to us by, you got me out of order here. Let's see.
First security title.
First security
Long.
title. Well, I hadn't done this in a while, Coach. So anyway, have you
Mitch Houston.
Mitch Houston.
Mitch Houston, yeah, he does a great job. Our players of the week, last week, we had our 2 defensive tackles, Caleb Evans and Jack Moore. Come on up. and we talked about this yesterday. You know, these guys are not going to light up the stats. You know, I mean, you're not going to see these guys with 12 tackles and 3 quarterback sacks and all that. But I'm going to tell you, without these 2 guys right here, we're 0-9. And that's just the truth, because they play their butts off every week. They do their job so the linebackers can go make tackles, and they never complain. They lift every weight. It's every set, every rep. They're every meeting. They do everything the right way. They also make really good grades. They're seniors, and somebody somewhere is going to get these 2 guys, and they're going to play college football. And they're going to do a great job. So these are our defensive players of the week. Man, we appreciate them. So let's give them a big hand. And our offensive player of the week is Gavin Evans. Gavin, come on up. And Gavin was very instrumental in our win Thursday night, man. Just I think he had 100 and something yards, 25 carries, somewhere around in there. And every yard he earned it. And just tough going, tough sledding, did a heck of a job. And, like I said, one of the biggest reasons we won is because how hard he run the football, and we're proud of him. Junior, he'll be back with us again next year. So Gavin Evans, our fullback, was the offensive player of the week. Appreciate you, Gavin.
Well, congratulations to those guys. And, Coach, let's talk a little bit about the meet game. One of the things that you always talk about is winning the road trip. So far this year, you've been pretty much just driving down the road to play a game. Most of the time, you get your guys dressed here,
right?
Maybe stretch them, go get off the bus and play. How's that a little different when you got to make such a long road trip down to a meet, and in doing so, did you win the game? I mean, win the trip this time?
Yeah, we it's a lot of planning involved in it, but we've made trips like this before, and first thing you got to really make sure to do is secure your charter, and it's so hard to get charters nowadays because Texas is still using them things to send those guys to New York and Chicago and places like that. So it's hard to get your charter. And once you get that done, you got to plan your meals and you leave in time and you're trying to figure out how long it takes to get here. And you're doing all that and you're depending on your kids to just do the right thing. And, we stopped at the state park down there, the rest stop in Kentwood, Louisiana, ate a sandwich, and stretched their legs, got back on the bus and went. And I'm going to tell you, we haven't been to a restaurant since 2017. It's just not us. I mean, we tried that in 2017, Texas Roadhouse over at in Shreveport. I didn't like the way our kids acted. So because of those seniors in that class, 2017, our kids have never got to eat in a restaurant again. So that's why we eat Arby's and McDonald's, and that's how we do it. And our kids just kind of feed off of that. We've been to the Choo Choo Train Park and Arcadia and 8. We've just been a lot of places. So, I
remember eating Subway sandwiches outside the Superdome.
Absolutely. When we won the state championship, we ate Subway sandwiches on the steps of the Staples Center.
And liked it too, didn't we?
And we liked it, and we liked the results. So, we just our kids just kind of enjoy that, and that's just kind of, our hard hat mentality. But we won the trip, man. We did, just to answer your question. And it's a long trip, but it was a good trip.
Yeah. I wanted to ask you too, really about Coach Powell, head coach at the meet. He was there to greet us when we pulled into the parking lot. And it seemed like he made every effort to make that our experience as pleasant as he could. It seemed like y'all have a really good relationship, Coach. Seemed like he really works hard to welcome us in.
And we tried to give him the same hospitality.
Thanks, Coach Doty. Hi, I'm Ashley Dowdy with Homeland Bank. We believe that investing in our schools and local teams means investing in our future. We're committed to creating endless possibilities both on and off the field. Together we can build a brighter tomorrow.
Homeland Bank and the Sterlington Panthers. Together we can build a winning team. Where's your money?
Homeland Bank, equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Simply because we did have to get on the bus and go 3.5 hours. And, it was a hard fought game, and we knew we were going to have trouble with their speed because we just can't practice that type of speed. When we're practicing, we just can't do it. And it takes you a while to kind of get used to that speed. And we had a couple breakdowns and stuff, but, I think overall we played really well. I mean, our run defense played well again. I think we limited them to 59 yards rushing on 20-something carries. That's a great day. They got us over the top 3 times, actually. All 3 of their touchdowns were big plays. But, when you play a team like that, that's what they're going to do. And but yeah, offensively, we just kind of ground that thing out, man, just trying to keep the ball away from them because they're just a big strike play, just a big play offense. And I thought we did a great job with that, and our kids did a really good job. And, second half came out and tackled a little bit better and made some adjustments and, just found a way to win.
Yeah, and that was a great point you made, grinding it out like y'all did. That helped you on the defensive side of the ball, too, because they always say if you can keep that offense off the field, they can't strike you. Plus, had some of those guys going both ways,
Right,
offense
right.
and defense. That had to have helped, Coach.
Yeah, it did. And like I said, it's just, I think we opened up the second half with the 12 or 14 play drive right there. You'd love to have got 6 points, but when you got a kicker like Aiden, 3 points is great. So, but anyway, like I said, it was a good game, and, thankful to get out of there with a victory.
Well, looking at the defense, Coach, that opening drive, you kept the defense on the field for a long time. What was the most challenging part of that opening drive?
Well, I tell you what kept happening. They kept converting 3rd and 4th downs. I mean, you got to give it to a meet. I mean, they overcame like 6 or 7 penalties on that first drive. And every time we get a big penalty, I said, well, this is it. And they somehow find a way to convert. So that's just good coaching, and kids that they're playing with over there understand that mistakes happen and you just play the next play. I thought it was I hated to sit over there and watch it, but I thought it was an outstanding drive.
I did, too, because there's so many times I thought we had them.
Yes.
And then they just overcame it.
Right.
And again, that goes to the man at the top.
Right.
I think Coach Powell had them prepared for those sort of things. But it seemed like after that defense really settled in, and you pointed it out, Coach, in the run game, really seemed to get that under control. Of course, the big plays over the top happen.
Mm-hmm.
But how did y'all adjust for the rest of the game? What adjustments did y'all make to really kind of take on that running game that they had?
Well, we just had to tackle better. We didn't tackle very well in the first half, and we just had to start tackling better again. And I tell our DBs all the time and tell them again yesterday, I'm old enough to got to watch Deion Sanders play, and he got burnt several times in an NFL game. And, these guys that make $20 million a year, they get burnt. People get behind them all the time. So it's just a next play mentality, and, you got to shake it off and let's go. All the good DBs that got burnt made sure they had the next play mentality.
Right.
So, I've seen it happen, every week in the NFL, you get a millionaire that gets burned. And we don't pay our guys that much.
They get Arby sandwiches.
Yeah, they do.
Well, that kind of led into a question I had. One thing that, the video, when we watched it beforehand, didn't show was the speed and agility that those guys had, particularly in the skill positions. But, how does seeing that during the regular season help y'all going into the playoffs?
Well, I mean, to me, it was a playoff game. It was just playoff atmosphere, playoff game, preparation like a playoff game. And, we're going to try to schedule a trip like that every year if we can. And it just prepares you. And where it's the first week of the year or the 9th week of the year, when you get in a situation where you have to go to Iota, in a semifinal road trip, you've been there, you've done that, you've been on those buses and you planned and everybody knows how to do it. So, the experience we had is just irreplaceable. You just can't do it. You can't mimic it.
Exactly. Well, shifting over to the offensive side, Coach, Meade's defense was big and fast. We saw that. Used a lot of 2 tight end set. What do those type of sets do for you against a defense like a Meat?
Try to spread those linemen out, just try to find some gaps in there. They actually had bigger kids that they had played in weeks before, but against us, they went with 4 smaller guys on the inside and just kind of dove in there and tried to made it dirty, and had some guys on the outside who could really run. And, they're 2 defensive ends and they're 2 strong safeties. What we call strong safeties are really, really, really good football players and good tacklers. And so they made it dirty in there for us. And, we kept hammering the fullback up in there at them. And, it's about, whose wheel is going to break first.
Yeah. Well, and that was one thing. We were able to put together some really long, sustained drives again this week, and that's following the previous game. But, and I kind of asked about this before, but having those two-way players, that's got to have a long-term effect on them on both sides of the ball. And that's got to be real satisfying to be able to stretch those 12, 13 play drives together, because you're going to wear that defense down.
Yeah, but at this time of the year, those guys have been playing both ways all year. I mean, they're in good enough shape. I mean, there's teams around here that play people on both sides of the ball and special teams, and those guys down there have been doing that for years. So, they were good to go, and it don't have the effect on it that you really want it to.
Right. Well, let's go to Gavin Evans. Ask about him. He really toted a load this week. 25 carries, 109 yards, 2 touchdowns. If you're a casual observer, you look at those stats and you think a little over 4 yards a carry. It didn't seem like a big game, but when you take the totality of what he did, he's taking a pound and in between the tackles and getting that first down. Can you speak to us about the aspect of running the ball and also talk about Gavin's progress?
Well, he got hurt early in the year, and we was out without him for a while, and we had other guys that stepped up and played really well. He's probably finally getting back to 100% right now, and those yards were dirty. It was dirty in there, and for him to hit it the way he did, and just kept playing, and we're proud of him. But hey, we expect that out of him. I'm not gonna lie to you. We expect him to be that dude. So he was the other night.
And that's what you want out of a fullback. Like we described that. He did the dirty work, got dirty between the tackles. Of course, your other backs had good night as well. Trammell, led all rushers in yardage, and really beginning to look more like what we wanted to see going into the season. Seems like he's really starting to hit his stride now.
Yeah, he's had 2 good weeks back to back, and he fell down one time with actually scored, and he got off balance there, and but he's going to have some more big nights before the year's over.
Well, and one other thing I want to speak about is the performance of that offensive line against that defensive front of a Meat. You talk about, dirty yards with Gavin Evans, but you got to have those guys up front plowing away. And I thought they did a great job just all night, just blowing them out enough to get that next first down.
Well, our kids come off the ball really well. And, the advantage of running the offense we do with the linemen we have is everybody don't see that every week. And you can't simulate that in practice either. And, when it first comes at you, it's tough. And so, yeah, they played really well, and hope they'll play even better this week.
Well, before we shift gears and head on to the Wassman preview, I wanted to ask you something, Coach, in particular. I saw there's a picture on Facebook, or I call it face page, whatever it is, with the team out there on 50-yard line, Coach Powell, a Meat, and Sterlington taking a knee. And that's such a contrast from what we get thrown at us all the time, fights at games. Heck, some of them have shootings at the games. But that picture is a picture of you and Coach Powell out there with, looks like in a moment of prayer. I just really like to get your comment on that, Coach, because that, given what's happened in the past, it's just great to see that. And I just like to get your take on that.
Well, I think it's just 2 programs that got after it, between the lines for 48 minutes, and just a lot of mutual respect for each other. And there was some tense moments in that game as well. But when that game was over, I mean, that game was over. And I mean, you kind of wish you could get that type of every week. But like I said, man, you got a leader like Coach Powell down there, and it was fun and it was special. But that was a special moment. And I'm glad we got a picture of it to remember it.
I thought that was great. Well, Coach, I want to go ahead and talk about the Wasserman game, get a preview for that. Coach Terrence Cahey has really got those guys going down there. I think he's done a great job since he's gotten there. Really seems to focus on the details and really seems to have them on a roll right now. And I expect it to be a fun night Thursday night. But as you've looked at the Wildcats, what's your initial impression of them?
Well, I do think they have a really good football team. I think he's done a good job. I think it was a good hire for Wasserman. And, we'll have our hands full with them for sure. They remind me a lot of a meet with their speed and, some bigger guys up front. So, it's good that we've kind of seen that a little bit now, and we'll know what to expect. But, yeah, definitely a good football team down there, man. You don't win 8 games, in 9 tries and not have a good football team.
Absolutely. Well, from our defensive standpoint, they seem to have a decent balance between their run pass on their spread offense. But, what challenges do you see from them for y'all's defense?
Well, I mean, we got to tackle the back. He's a hard runner, and seems like every year they have one of those guys, just 5'10" to 6 foot guy, 190 to 215 pounds. It's just like every year they bring one of them guys back. And he's a good runner, man. He's one of the better backs we will face this year. And so we got to tackle that guy first and foremost. They got a really good little RPO game they use. Number 3 is a really good wideout. I think he's a really good basketball player as well. Does a good job. They got a couple guys that go both ways on their line, some defensive linemen to play offensive line. So, it's just going to be we just got to do what we do and do it better than we've done it here lately. And if we can do that, then we got a chance.
Well, looking at our offense against them, it looked like they were running maybe a 4-2-5 base defense. What opportunities do you see against that set, and what do you expect to see against them?
Well, I think they'll run their stuff that they do. I think that they are well coached, and they'll have one guy that'll dive here and there, but I mean they just play they squeeze and scrape defense, and they're really good at it. And I mean they can run, they can tackle. Their 2 safeties are probably the best tacklers that we played this year. One of the guys came from Neville. The Elam kid, I know we talked about him last year when we played Neville. At Neville, a really good player, all-state type player. So, we're just going to have to be able to block. We're just going to have to play better than we've been playing offensively to have a chance. I mean, we got to score every opportunity we get. We got to score. We got to finish drives, and stay away from punting. Man, I love Aiden, but I don't want him to have a career night punting the ball. So, finish drives, But the main thing is, if we don't finish drive, is just end each drive with a kick, where it's the extra point or punt. If we can just finish each drive with a kick, we'll be fine. Stay away from turnovers.
Yeah. Well, Coach, do you have any words for the fans that'll be traveling down Thursday? And it is Thursday night.
It is Thursday night. I'll tell you what, I know this for a fact. We're just pack it out. I know our fans are going to travel on that sideline over there, and those bleachers are going to be packed. And I'm excited about the opportunity. I wish I was getting the gate money for this game because, it's going to be a good one. And I think our people are excited about going down there. We haven't been down there since 2017. It's just kind of a weird way the schedules always fail. The COVID year kind of messed them up out of a year we're supposed to go down there. So, but yeah, I mean, you can see here tonight, people are excited about it. They come to the radio show, and I know that the football game is going to be a lot more exciting. So, but yeah, we look forward to it, and can't wait for it to happen.
Exactly. And this is for district championship.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
And I tell our kids, this is why you're at Starlington.
That's exactly right.
To play for these, so it means a lot to us, and hopefully we can get this thing done.
Well, it's Sterlington versus Wasman this Thursday night at 7 p.m. at Wasman. If you can't make it, you can catch us on YouTube beginning at 6:15 with a replay of our coaches' show. Pre-game shows at 6:45 with Ben Hackler and myself, and kickoff will be at 7. Be sure to check out our website, shspantherfootball.com, for highlight videos, game replays, and much more. You can also find the link for the live stream on the website. Final thoughts, Coach?
Hey, I appreciate everybody coming out tonight, and hope to see you there Thursday night. And as always, go Panthers.
Well, thanks for joining us tonight. We hope that you have a great week.
Copeland Electric Company, providing excellence in electrical services since 1971. Their secret? Copeland has the manpower, resources, and knowledge to assemble and mobilize teams quickly and efficiently. Go Panthers from Copeland Electric!